Welcome to this segment of Brand Talk. My name is Salah Hassan. I'm a professor of strategic brand management at the GW School of Business. With us also today is Carolina Rogoll, an author and a brand builder, a star brand builder. She is the author of a newly published book called Star Brands. She was our keynote speaker today, speaking about what is new with branding and brand management. And she also did a nice workshop with the students on two of the projects that they are working on. Today we are going to address what is new with branding. A lot have changed over the past 10 years, Carolina. Google was newly born at the time, and Facebook as well. Yet Google, the world we live in now is according to Google and according to Facebook. It really have changed the way we do business, have changed the way we do branding, and if I'm not exaggerating, really changing the world we live in. What have changed over the past 12 years that you feel is becoming the important things to watch for when it comes to brand management and strategic branding?
Thank you, Professor Hassan, for having me today at your class here at George Washington University. It's my absolute pleasure to be visiting the city of Washington, your phenomenal program, and get to spend time with your students. To answer your first question, indeed, a lot of things have changed in the last 10 years. First, we see consumer behavior dramatically changing. That means how they connect with each other, how technology is playing a significant role in people's lives, and also the relationship to brands. So the reason why brands like Google and Facebook exist today is because consumer habits have changed, and the technology is now changing the way in which people live their lives. So from a marketing perspective, the toolbox for marketers has needed to expand in order to account for the role that technology plays in information consumption, and also what brands need to be doing to connect in order to share information and build relationship with consumers. Finally, I think consumers today want to connect with brands at their own terms. The idea is of brands originally just pushing a message out and expect consumers to buy into them is no longer true. It's very much a two-way street today, where brands need to be more open and defined by the feedback that consumers are giving them in terms of where they're creating a meaningful difference into their lives, and also how they're coming to life and what role they can be playing in terms of their lifestyle. So the last 10 years and the changes and the brands that are successful today are really a result of a very fast-paced changing environment of how consumers interact with each other and their expectations of how they communicate with brands.
When we talk about branding, you can practically brand anything. I know a company called Bora Brick, for example. They're branding bricks. And they are basically saying that their brick is not like any other brick. Their bricks look like stone. And they are talking about bringing the old-time charm to today's building and construction industry. So branding can relate to any product, any service, any experience, any person even. Branding, we have seen today one of the teams is working on branding of a nation, branding of a destination. So what, from traditional branding, what is of relevance to nation branding, since we live in the nation capital and Washington, D.C. is the hub of international diplomacy. The World Bank is next door to us, IMF is across the street, the State Department, USAID with major initiatives on nation branding, and Brand USA is a recent initiative what is new with branding that is of direct relevance to nation branding?
When you first reach out to me in terms of the opportunity to talk about nation branding, I got really excited because what a unique concept, which is to apply everything that we know about brands into nations. But when I thought about it further, it's not unique in a sense that anything can be branded today, but it's unique in a sense that it has really tremendous untapped potential of what brands, what nations that brand themselves really well can do for their countries. So couple of things in terms of brand building principles, and I talk about the book about this in terms of really for any nation to understand what they want to stand for and the mind of those consumers that they want to bring to the country, whether it is business investors or if it's tourism or it is visitors in general, and the positive perception or creating a more positive perception of the country. All of those elements is what branding, the category of branding typically deals with. What you stand for, who you are going after, and how you're going to communicate with them. In the case of nations, of course, they need to identify who is the target that they want to bring into their country, and the whole activity system of building a brand consistently over time, and that it requires effort, and that the consistency of how the nation marketing comes to life and travels the word is really important. So I would say nation is just another product, another experience that requires some branding, requires to be following the same principles of any brand, of defining who they are, who they want to go after, how they set themselves apart, in order for that nation to really achieve these additional goals of bringing and attracting more people into the country.
Thank you, Carolina, for being with us. It actually has been 10 years since we started the Strategic Brand Management course. I launched that course 10 years ago this semester, as a matter of fact. So this course has traditionally attracted multidisciplinary students, and this particular semester is no exception. We had students from, of course, our MBAs and specialized master degree students from different programs, including the Elliott School for International Affairs, the School of Media Studies, and the law school. So that really shows how branding is a very complex phenomenon, multifaceted, that really requires an interdisciplinary approach in order to help in enhancing understanding of this branding phenomenon. Thank you so much, and branding have come a long way, but still is a long way to go. So thank you, and we hope to welcome you in a future presentation of Brand Talk GW Campus.